Right, I'm delighted to be joined by David Price. There's a massive year coming up for British boxing. Of course, Tyson Fury rumoured to be making a comeback, so it's only fitting that we kick this off with your amateur fight with Tyson Fury. An excellent win for you. Can you tell me a little bit about it and what occurred in the build-up? Because I know he went as far as sending letters to Boxing News and things like that.
Yeah. So Tyson Fury just came out of nowhere, basically. He turned up on an England training camp. I think he was 18, and I just won the Commonwealth Games gold medal. And the lads who were in the team with me were like, there's this young lad turned up saying he's come to take your place in the Olympics. And that was unheard of, in the amateurs. We were all on the same team together. It was all respectful, sportsman type of thing. And this upstart turns up threatening to take me place. So we done a little bit of tech spar and things like that. And I think after that, he went to the World Junior Championships and won a medal, came back and was going in the ABAs, wrote a letter to the Boxing News. And I remember, actually, the weekend he wrote a letter to the Boxing News. I hadn't bought the Boxing News, but I went to watch a show on the Saturday night. I think it was Clinton Woods in Bolton, and I seen Tyson Fury in there with his dad, and they were like letting on and like kind of bit weird. And then after the show, someone said, "Did you see that letter he wrote to the Boxing News?" And I was like, "No, what?" So we went to a nightclub after the show because the ABAs weren't for like, I don't know, a couple of months away. So we thought we'll have a night out. And when someone told me, I just went, right, I'm going home. I thought, I'm going home, I'm getting in the gym tomorrow. That's it now. The training starts. Now it kind of like triggered me. Thought, you cheeky bastard. So I thought, right, this is it now. We're in training. And then they had the fight in the Wythenshawe Forum, which was like a sports centre on a Friday night. It was like 12 fights on different weights, all the Northwest finals. Usually they put this super heavyweights on last, but because there was that much anticipation around the fight and they thought there was going to be trouble and whatever else, there was police there. It was mad. You'd never seen anything like it at an amateur show. It was packed out. You couldn't get in. They put our fight on fourth early, so people weren't going to be drunk or I don't know. But I just got in the ring and started fast. It was a good fight. And I won deservedly so, like, and we humbled him in that fight briefly. I think it only humbled briefly, but for a few seconds after it, he was humbled and grateful for the opportunity and all that. And then obviously, I went on to the Olympics myself and won a medal, everything else. But that was the fight with him, and it was probably didn't acknowledge how good he was at the time because I didn't want to. And then when I've seen the video a couple of years ago, I was like, he was actually good for that age, that level, but it still didn't foresee him to do what he went on to do. No chance.
Yeah, it was definitely an exceptional victory for you. And I want to talk a little bit more about your amateur career in a moment, but just quickly sticking with Tyson Fury. Obviously, he's making this comeback by the looks of things. Is there anyone in particular you want to see him in the ring with?
No, not really. Not. There's fun fights out there in the UK, isn't there? Like your Martin Bacoli, Joe Joyce, another one for Tyson Fury, just to get back in. I think a great fighter, and he's on probably a lot of heavyweights' minds is Fabio Wardley. There's 3 fights where he wouldn't have to leave the UK or fight a UK fighter. There's 3 good names that I'd like to see him fight.
Now, looking through some of your big wins in the amateur ranks, you obviously won a Commonwealth gold medal, which is an exceptional achievement, beating Varghese Johnson en route to winning that. An absolute thriller. I think you went down 3 times and showcased unbelievable heart to bounce back and secure the stoppage. Can you tell me a little bit about that win?
That's kind of like a forgotten win, that one. That was the semi-finals of the Commonwealth Games, and it was a southpaw from India, Varghese Johnson, and he was rapid, he was fast, and I weren't great with southpaws at the best of times, and especially earlier on in my career. And first round, he was hitting me with punches I just weren't seeing him. I went down once in each round, the first 3 rounds, and the rules were in amateur boxing is if you got 4 counts in the fight, the fight was stopped. If you got 3 counts in 1 round, the fight was stopped. So these knockdowns, they were kind of like, not because I was badly hurt, it was because what you don't see does hurt you more than anything. So the punches were landing, I was down. And I think I was down in the fight on points. And then the last round, I could just see him tiring. And I just kept going, and I just kept going. And I gave him 3 counts, 3 stands and counts. I think I put him down twice and then gave him a stands and count with 9 seconds to go or something. And the ref stopped the fight. And it was up there with like my greatest feelings of a winning a fight. Obviously, I was self-critical for getting put down 3 times, but I think it got voted fight of the tournament, and like the boost it gave to my teammates and the camp and everyone was just buzzing. It was brilliant. Although I didn't perform really well, I just showed the heart to keep getting up and keep going, and it paid off. And then I won the gold medal in the final.
Yeah, 100%. Your bravery was exceptional that night. And that's not the only big win you have in the amateurs. I know that you beat Krzysztof Głowacki, which is an exceptional win because he obviously went on to beat Marco Huck and ended that long reign at cruiserweight. Tell me a little bit about Glovaki. I know he was snarling at you, I think, in the canteen.
Yeah. That was the fair. I fought him twice with the same result. And he was like your typical Pole with a skinhead and like stocky walking around. And at this stage, I was starting to grow in confidence. This was in the Olympic qualifiers for Beijing. I was starting to really to grow into myself and get a bit of a name. And I've people would look at me and just think I'm just tall, skinny fighter who like they walk through. Had 2 Russians do the same thing, like kind of looking and laughing. And I put them both in the places. And this was another one in Pescara, and he was trying to eyeball me, and I was like, the fuck, weren't happening. So when I fought him anyway, I think I gave him a count at the end of the first round, and I was really starting to whack at this point. He was wobbling. He was a small super heavyweight. He ended up as a cruiserweight. And then the second round, just timed a lovely right hand. He fell over his front foot, and I just stepped right hand on the chin, and he fell flat on his face. Ref stopped the fight, and that was in one of the Olympic qualifiers. And then right before the Olympics, I fought him again in Poland, same result. I was just too big for him, too big and it's too hard, and same thing. But he went on to have a really good pro career, didn't he? World champion, I think, 4-2. But yeah, he was probably a good name to have on my record as an amateur, without a doubt.
And David, you've had many achievements both in your amateur career, in your pro career. A story that everybody loves talking about is that suit. Can you tell me the story of the suit?
The suit, I still got that, still wear it. Oh no, the suit. Do you know what happened with that? It was a mad one, that, because that was actually a made-to-measure suit, believe it or not, right? But what happened? I got measured up for it after the Harrison fight, because Frank Maloney was like, I've got someone going to get you a suit. So the tailor came and I said, look, a few of the suits I had were a bit tight, and I said, look, I'm probably gonna put weight on after the fight, just make it a little bit looser, whatever. But I wore that loads of times before that, and it never ever looked like that, ever. I've seen other pictures of me in it, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to that suit that night? But whatever, it went down in folklore, didn't it?